meel kastoo dunida ka joogtaanba kuna soo dhawaada barnaamijka arrimaha bulshada oo toddobaad walba xilligan oo kale aad ka daawataan TV-ga Universal. laba toddobaad ka hor ayay ahayd markii halkaan aanu ugu yeernay laba nin oo ka tirsan ciidamada amniga ee magaalada London ee Metropolitan Police ka u shaqeeya kadib markay soo badatay isdilka dhalinyarada Soomaaliyeed ee midyaha ama xabadaha markaa bisooladaha lagu dilo oo sanadkan gudihiisa intaanu ku jirnay iminka gabagabada ah 9 qof ayaa la dilay oo Soomaaliya magaalada London lagu dilay 9 qofkii ugu dambeeyay degmada Islington waqooyiga magaalada London ayaa shalay lagu dilay xilli uu ka shaaheynayay waasay hadalka u dhigeen meel shaaha laga cabo ninkaas ayaan ilaa haatan cid dishay aan la garanaynin qof kasta oo Soomaaliya oo og qofkaas Soomaaliyeed cid dishay waxa laga codsanayaa in ay la soo xiriiraan ciidamada amniga si loo helo cadaalad u helo asaga qoyskiisiba waxaan ognahay inuu ahaa nin weyn oo maaragtay markaas aan ahayn dhalinyarada yaryar suuq ordiso 40 sano uu jiray maqaayadaasna lagu dilay Islington ku taala laba wiil ka hor sidoo kale nin yar oo dhalinyaro ah Soomaaliya ayaa lagu dilay degmada Ealing gaar ahaan xaafadda Southall xilli uu gaarigiisa ku jiray oo rasaas lagu furay taas oo u dhintay haddaba bulshada Soomaaliyeed markasta oo waxaanu ay soo baxaan ama ay dhacdo dhibaatadan oo kale ayaa waxa la yiraahdaa meesha aan ka kacno aan iskaalmaysano aan garabka isqabsano miitina aan sameeyno laba maalmood kadibna waxa weeye halkaas ay ku baaba'daa haddana mid kale ayaa la dilaa sidii baa la yiraahdaa xamaasad iyo qiiro jabaan laakiin wax la qabtaa ma jirto mas'uuliyad intee leeg ayaa saaran waalidiinta ubadkooda ayagu ay joogaan meelaha aan munaasabka ahayn xilliyada dambe habeenkii mar walba maxaan u eedaynaa dad kale oo anagu aan u qaadi laanahay mas'uuliyadda ilaan ubadkan anaga dhalnay dunida keenay Ilaahay ka sokoowe dhibaato intee leeg ayay ciidamada amnigu laftigoodu ku hayaan inay da'yarta Soomaaliyeed dambiyo yaryar oo aan markaas laga cafin kari lahaa ama digniin lagu siin lahaa ay xabsiyada ku geeyaan oo markaas ay ku helaan rikoorkooda uu ku xumaado fursad ayaan idin siinayaa labada nin ee ugu sarreeyay la dagaalanka midyaha iyo waliba xabadaha dadka lagu dilay dambiyada qorsheysan ee dawladda Ingiriisku ay u xil saartay gaar ahaan ciidamada amniga oo garabkayga fadhiyo horey noogu yimid waxaan jecelahay haddii Ilaahay yiraahdo inaad su'aalo adag weydiisaan oo mas'uuliyadooda aan ogaano ayagu ay leeyihiin annaguna teena aan ogaano si loo yareeyo ama loo badbaadiyo inuu wiil kale oo Soomaaliya naga dhinto maxaa yeelay wiilal badan ma haysano waayahan dambe sida awgeed waa wax laga naxo lagana xishoodo qiirana dadka gelinaya marka aragtid wiil yar oo 22 jiray oo xabad lagu dhuftay ama mid caloosha looga soo riday oo mararka qaarkood kuwa wax dilaya ay yihiin Soomaali kale xilligii aanu u soo diyaar garoobi lahayn baa la joogaa waan u maleynayaa in aan qiranno oo ogaano inuu annagu aanu dambiga qayb ka leenahay waxaan tagay xaafadda Halisdan ee waqooyiga ee galbeedka magaalada London ku taala wiilal yar yar oo Soomaali ayaa ku iibiya daroogo waalidiinta dhashay xaafaday degan yihiin cid waxba kama qabato degmada Ealing waa sidoo kale Lusham waa sidoo kale waa wax aan dhibaato oo wada haysta loona baahan yahay si wada jira iyo qoys in looga hortago ujeedada barnaamijkan oo keenana waxay tahay san horeba hoos laga xariiqay inaan ka qayb qaadano badbaadada da'da yar ee dhibaatada ku dhacaysa garabkayga waxaa fadhiya team oo asagoo hadda kor nagala qayb galay barnaamijkan iyo waliba Sean guys I would like to welcome to Universal TV once again. It was the community's invitation. They keep saying we want you guys back, talk to us and we can work collectively together, so both of you welcome. We will also have the telephone ninka nagala qayb qaadanay cid kasta oo doonaysa inay su'aal weydiisano waa u furanahay team. If I can come to you first, what is going on in terms of, or both of you actually, knife crime and gang related issues in London and also countrywide?
Shall I start, Sean, on the gangs? Firstly, thank you for having us back. We thought it was very beneficial last time, so thank you for extending this invite again. At the moment, from my part of the business in London, around gangs, it's very challenging. There are young people getting hurt, and also linked to the drugs market, we're finding a lot of drugs going from London into county forces, where the organisers of these gangs are using young people to move the drugs. And that's challenging for ourselves at the moment.
Yeah, again, mirror Tim's comments. Thank you for inviting us back. It's very nice to be asked back by the community.
Absolutely.
And you know, long may it continue. But so from my perspective, with Operation Sceptre, you know, as you know, we've been running this since May now, within territorial policing. So that's borough-based policing. We've had our last week of Operation Sceptre last week, and we've had a number of community weapon sweeps. I'll perhaps talk a bit more around those later. That's something where we're searching for knives and weapons with the community. And that's different. Normally it's police-led, police-driven community weapon sweeps, so it's great to have the community come forward and actually drive those with police officers, and we found some knife recoveries. So I've always said every knife recovered is a life saved potentially, so that's really positive. And we've got another week of Operation Sceptre running just before the 20th of December that week, so running through the Christmas period. So yeah, it's all very challenging, as Tim said. You know, it's not something we're going to solve overnight, but you know, with the help of the community and what we're doing tonight, we're certainly going in the right direction.
Right. Why the knife crime in London in particular is rising year on year?
It's the same in every major big city. I mean, we're a population of 9 million people. If you look at what we are doing in London, there are rises, but if you look at the rises that were occurring circa April this year, compared to where we are now, I think we had a 34% knife crime rise in London in April. It's still up. It's still up on last year, which is not a good message, but it's positive in the fact that the trend is heading down. So it's 16% up. So there's a 14% differential there, and that's a lot of knife crime in London in terms of you know, the reductions that we're getting. But as I say, we're here tonight to appeal to communities, not just the Somali community, to try and assist us to get it down to zero, and that's the messaging we're trying to get out.
Most of the murders taking place in London are often the victims are young people, and it's knife related rather than gun. How much the drugs and alcohol is fueling this, as well as gang? I'll come to Tim with that later on.
Yeah, how much of it is alcohol and drugs? It's very difficult to say, because we always see the end product. We see the tragic murder of a young person. How much of it is drug related, we'll never really know. You know, anecdotally we know that a lot of it is drug related. A percentage of it, a quarter of knife crime in London, is gang related, and Tim will probably talk more around that. But you know, there's a number of different social and economic factors. It isn't just drugs and alcohol related. But for Sceptre, we're talking about public space violence. You know, there's the whole domestic violence related inside premises knife crime. But the purpose for Sceptre is to police the streets and try and get knives off the streets.
Absolutely. Tim, we often talk about gang crime, gang-related crimes in London, and people stereotype a lot of young boys who wearing hoodie, just around the corner, standing, doing absolutely nothing, and people terrified of them sometimes. Is it fear of gangs and crime, or is it really gangs just out there who want to do us all harm?
Well, it's a very good question, because it's what the public perceive, and different generations look at young people in different ways, and they always have done. So when I was young, which was a long time ago, we looked at the older people as old. The older people looked at us potentially as a threat. I mean, what is a gang? A gang, a lot of the times, from our perspective, is the violence and the group activity involved in crime. That's what we're interested in. A gang is not a group of young boys going around with hoodies. That's not an offence. So sometimes it's a public perception, and we work very hard to target those violent gang group offenders. But we're not going to tarnish a generation with being gang members. Because you're in a group with your friends, going to football, playing in the street, that does not make you a gang. And it's really important that, one, the police understand that, but two, the public understand that we understand that. And we're after those violent individuals. The question around drugs is really interesting. And in my view, it does drive a lot of the violence. So, you know, you protect your drugs market. You protect your estate if you're dealing on it. That's totally different from groups of kids playing and hanging out with their mates. So there's two different things there. And I think sometimes it gets blurred into one. And there are misconceptions about groups of youths. And there's a fear factor. And if people see groups of youths and associate it with gangs, then we lose the public confidence. So it's really them understanding that we do see the difference between the two.
Right. We will take callers from UK. Last time when we had this program, we were only targeting London only. But if you're other part of the country, you can call, whether it's related gang crime or knife or CT. We have officers also in the waiting call center room, who will take your calls and follow it up. So if you don't want to talk to us on air, you can talk to them in private. And if I say that in Somali, haddii aad doonaysid in aad la hadashid oo ilmahaaga uga baqanaysid dhibaato amase ay haddaba ku jiraan oo magaalada waddanka meesha kastoo aad ka joogtidba, taleefanka soo garaac. Qolka kale waxaan keenay niman ayagoo laftigooda booliis ka tirsan oo markaas adiga si gaara kula hadlaya. Sababtuna waxa weeye markii dambe oo halkaan aanu joognay u dambeysay last time-kii waxa dhacday dad baa soo wacay, dadkii qof ay la hadlaan ma lahan. Nimankaan wax walba hawada kama jawaabi karaan, taleefankaaga hawada lagama qoran karo. Ujeedaduna waxay tahay in la badbaadiyo daa'irtaas annaguna aanu ka qayb qaadano. Waa xilligii loo baahnaa inaanu action la nimaadno, sheekada raqiiska iyo xamaasadda iyo qiiro jabaanka iyo wiil baa la dilayna aan joojino haddii aan nahay Soomaali, si aan u yarayno daa'irta yaryar oo dabka ku daadanaysa. Kulligeen inteena badan waalidiin baa nahay, waynaan dhibaysaa dad xataa waalid ahayn. Khadadka taleefanada markay soo galaan ayaanu u gudbo doonaa si aad toos ula hadashaan. Ciddii u baahan in loo turjumo u turjumaynaa. Waa u turjumaynaa haddii Ilaahay yiraahdo. Su'aalihiina ha ka baqan inaad weydiisaan oo ku adkaysaan, maxaa yeelay mas-uuliyad bay ka yihiin nimankaanu. Dad fara badan oo dhalinyaro ah oo mararka qaarkood xabsiyada taga oo maxkamada la geeyay ayagoo dambi yar galay. Xaqiiqatan su'aashaas in hadda weydiiyo waa daruuri. Whichever one of you want to take this question. Often when you talk to the Somali parents or young Somali boys who don't have much confidence of police, they keep saying that you guys, when you catch a white boy who, let's say, doing something not right, you give them advice and you warn them. You don't take them to court. But when it comes to a young black boys or any black boy, you take them to court and you lock them up. You guys are racist.
Okay, can I answer that one?
Yes.
Go ahead.
It's we're not racist, and police officers aren't racist. We will deal with circumstances that are put in front of us, and a lot of the time it's not a police decision to lock people up. We go to Crown Prosecution Service, we go through a lot of different gatekeeping processes, and everybody's treated the same. So you look at the facts as they're given to you. So if somebody gets arrested, they'll get interviewed. The facts of that interview will be put towards the Crown Prosecution Service. The Crown Prosecution Service, the appellant authority to make that decision. So it's not a matter of race, colour, creed. It's what you rely on the evidence that's put in front of you.
No one is above the law, including yourselves.
Absolutely.
I think, can I just add to that?
Go ahead.
I think the question is, we target one group or another. What's important, one, is that we don't, but two, the perception. So if that is the perception from the community, then there's something that we have to work on. And that's what we're trying to do, to break down barriers so that they understand we are working with them. And it only works with the community and the police working together. And that's the way that you reduce crime, you stop serious injury to individuals, and you stop districts being blighted with crime where they don't deserve to be. And you've got a lot of good kids who get involved in something who don't need to go through the criminal justice system.
Right.
They actually need supporting and diverting away. So, a lot of the work that we do is to divert before it becomes more serious. But that only works if we work with the community. So, going back to your question, whatever we think, it's actually more important what the community thinks, and that's what we have to work on.
Okay, I'll just translate that quickly. Waxaan weydiiyey waxa ay mar walba u dhacday inay da'yarta yar Soomaalida ama madow markii ay qabtaan ay maxkamad soo istaajiyaan meesha kuwa yaryar ee cadcada ayaga u eg la sii daaya ama loo digo oo kaliya inta badan sida dadku yiraahdaan. Sean wuxuu yiri anagu racist ma nihin, booliisku racist ma ahan. Ujeedadeenu waxay tahay inaan qof walba make sure garayno inay safe yihiin, despite the color-ka iyo creed-ka iyo religion-ka iyo meeshan ka nimid. It's nothing to do with that. Sidoo kale team wuxuu leeyahay haddii sidaas ay naga aaminsan tihiin dadweynaha Soomaalida la daawanaya inaan nahay cunsuriyiin, anagu cunsuriyiin ma nihin first. Secondly waxa uu leeyahay team waxaan rabnaa perceptionkaas ama fikirkaa khaldan oo naga aaminsan tihiin inaan la dagaalano. Sida kaliya oo la dagaalami karnaa waxay tahay you guys come and talk to us and solution baa la raadinaya markaas. So the police-kii iyo community-gii are working together to prevent any young people noloshooda ay lose gareeyaan, whether it's South Hall or anywhere else in the country. And thank you very much, guys. We'll take the first caller. Okay, that call goes to the center. marka khiyaari waxaan jecel lahaa insha Allah tacaala in aad barnaamijka nagala qayb qaadataan. Maxaa kalifaya in daayarta Soomaalida la dilo oo maalin walba islaayaan ama ayagu ay isdilaan? Ma laga yaabaa in ilmaha weerartiisa hoostiina midiyo ku jirto, ay carry knives, waalidkiina wuxuu ka baqanaya inuu booliiskii la soo xiriiro. Ilmihii mididii waa lagu qabanaya, waa la xiraya, ama asaga wax ku dilaya, ama asaga lagu dilaya. Dabadeedna baayay waa warayba istaagaysaa iyo aabbo Soomaalida wiilkiisii curadka ahaa ama reerka ugu yaraa waayay ama hooyo Soomaalida oo kale. haddaba annaga mas-uuliyad baana saaran, waana mas-uuliyaddaas inaanu ka qayb qaadano inaysan marnaba dhicinin arrintaa inay dhacdo. If my son is member of a gang, or I suspect he is a member of a gang or about to join, and I'm terrified to come to you because I will lose a trust, my son is betrayal, and at the same time I can see he's going in danger, what advice would you give that parent?
Well, firstly, we're not the only people you can talk to, and it's really important to know that the main thing is to talk to someone, because there's a lot of people there. It might be a neighbour, it might be a relative, it might be someone like a school teacher or a youth worker or someone who plays sport with your son that they trust. And it's important they talk to someone, because a lot of times young men in this situation suffer in silence. They think they can't talk to their parents, they think they can't talk to anyone, and they're stuck in this place they don't want to be. So it's really important they talk to someone. And there is a lot of help out there from statutory agencies, such as the police, who can help divert, but also social services, or maybe health, it might be a doctor you speak to. But also there's a lot of voluntary organisations and all the boroughs in London and also around the country who are trained in dealing and talking to people. So we have a real challenge around ages 14 to 25 within the gang environment, where young boys are being drawn into this, maybe to drug supply, maybe to commit robberies on behalf of other people. And it's that period of time that we are most concerned about, and any support they can get from friends, relatives within that period, and it's hard enough growing up in that area of of your life between 14 and 25. Any support you get will help them and direct them on the right path. But the key message is talk to someone, and it's not just the police who can help, and it doesn't have to be the police.
Okay, I'll come back to you. Hello, Khadija, can you hear me?
Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam. So do Walal, how are you?
Alhamdulillah.
To make it easy for me and everybody else, can you speak English or Somali?
No, Somali akwadla.
Okay, go ahead. Xageeg soo wacaysaa?
Magaalada Canada jooga.
Walaalay barnaamijkaanu reer Canada ma quseeyo, waa ka xumahay markii horena bilowgii waa sheegay. Waan ogahay dhibaatadan oo kale inaad haysta reer Canada ama nagaga badan tihiin. Nimankaan halkan kaliya bay ka hadli karaan, marka ku mahad celinaya walaal. Right, Khadija is calling all the way from Canada because she missed the beginning of my introduction, so she didn't know. Thank you, Khadija. Wa mahadsantahay. Sean, likewise, the knife crimes and carrying knife. Often, kids underage can't buy knives in a supermarket or shops, and they take knife from the kitchen. Mom doesn't know, dad doesn't know, and 4 o'clock in the afternoon, police call and say your son has been arrested carrying a knife. In terms of prevent, what can the parents do at home?
I think we had this conversation, I think, didn't we, on the
Yes.
last dial-in. It's very difficult, but parents have a knowledge of what's in your knife block. You know, your knife block at home. Know what's in your kitchen drawer, and if there's something missing, start asking those questions. And I dealt with a case recently, actually, where a parent found her youngster travelling out of the home with a knife in his school bag. And it's just that intervention through parents before that youngster got onto the street and did something more sinister with that knife or took it for somebody else. They're not always carrying it for themselves, and we must be aware of that. Sometimes they're being pressured into taking knives for somebody else. And that's a really important point to make. So as parents and speaking to parents, I would say just be really intrusive and ask the right questions of your youngsters and just talk to them, and if if you sense there's an issue, get them to talk to somebody else, you know, a sibling, a brother, a sister, or a community member, somebody that they can trust. It doesn't, as Tim said earlier, it doesn't always have to be a police officer. We're there to help. We want you to talk to us, and we want to help you. But if I get the trust, I understand why somebody perhaps wouldn't want to criminalise their youngster. So there are many other avenues that Tim's mentioned: statutory, non-statutory, charitable organisations, or even anonymously the Crime Stopper helpline. But as a parent, if it was my youngster, I'd want to know that when they walk out of my door in the morning, that they're not carrying anything for either themselves or anybody else.
Right. I'm just going to put that to the community. Team wuxuu yiri saad maqlayseenba haddii aynan rabin inaan nala soo xiriirtaan haddaan nahay booliis oo ilmihiinu markaa ama ku biirayo gaangistarnimada ku biirayo ama weli uusan ku biirin aad ka baqaysaan dadka community ka shaqeeya u tagi kartaan iskuulka u tagi kartaan youth worker-ka oo dadka la shaqeeya u tagi kartaan si arrimaha looga hortago ilmahana markaa loo badbaadiyo ujeedaduna maaha ilmaha in la qabto oo la xiro maahan waa in laga hortago dembigu galayo sidoo kale haddaad uga baqanaysa inankaaga yar inuu midi wado mararka qaarkoodna waxaa dhacda buu ku leeyahay shoon midida ilmaha yar isagu maba isticmaalaya mid ka weyn baa ku odhanaya ii soo qaad hooyana ma oga aabana ma oga mididaas soo qaadaya waa la qabanaya mararka qaarkoodna waxa weeyaan markii midida lagu qabto dhibaatadaas la kulmaya ilmihii ama isagaa lagu dilaya ama isagaa wax ku dilaya si kale haddaan u dhigo kulligeen mas-uuliyad baa naga saaran ubadkeena yaryar iyo inaan insha allahu tacaala dadaalno khadka taleefonka oo London haddaan u gudbo halo
السلام عليكم.
عليكم السلام brother soo dhow
عبد الحفيظ أنا waxaan ku yiri
magaca walal
aadan nur cabdi oo kamdan joogowde
magaca
aadan nur cabdi
aadan soo dhow aadan kamdan
niyo waxa waaye aniga hadda ka dambaan deganahay 2000 adiga labana laga dilay this year mid baan laga dilay Hampstead Road in Camden 4 years ago mid baan laga dilay in Pregnant Road but su'aasha aan waxa rabaan weydiin waxa ma systemka ba la taqaana dadka nagal gareynayo mase as community anaga Somali ahaan ba dayaceen caruurteena.
Can you say that in English, Adam?
Yeah, right.
Saas af Ingiriis ma ku oran kartaa si ay ugu jawaabaan?
Ha, waxaan leeyahay is the system that is neglecting our youth, whichever youth they may be, whichever background they come from, or is it as a Somali, are we neglecting our own youth?
Okay, just stay on the line. Tim, you want to take this?
Yes, thank you for the question. And it's one that's been challenging organisations and communities for a long time. And I think it's a bit of both, really. You cannot put it on one thing. Everything has to work together for it to go well. So from a community perspective, I think it's a bit about being open and honest with yourselves. But also, you need support with that, right? So you can't do it alone. And it's up to us as police officers and other organisations, big organisations, to support you in what you're trying to do. So I think if we talk honestly about it, we will say we can't be overly defensive about our kids. I'm the same. I'm a parent of 2 teenage boys. And it's very easy to say everyone else is in the wrong and my boys are in the right. So it's asking those difficult questions. But at the same time, you need to know that when you go to organisations, you're going to get help. And if you are challenged, it doesn't mean from our perspective that everyone needs to be arrested, but it's having those honest conversations into how we can best support. So really, it's a case of both of them need to work together.
Adam? Do you want to follow it up or are you satisfied?
Say again, sorry.
su-aasha siduu tiimkaaga jawaabay ma ku qanacsan tahay mise waxaad rabtaa follow up inaad samaysid?
Well, to be honest, I didn't hear probably what he was the answer because that's the reason why I didn't hear probably.
Do you want to go again?
Yes,
Okay.
I'll try and sort of put it a different way slightly, but I'm saying it's that both have to come together. So your question was about...
I can follow up, yeah, if I don't mind, yeah.
Yeah, and I think, does that make sense to you, or...?
Okay.
Okay, Adam. I don't think whether you have heard what Tim said, but wuxuu ku yiri waa both weeyaan anaga oo booliiskii ah systemkii iyo booliiskii ah iyo Somali community inaan isku nimaadno to get maxaa lahaa solution or at least to minimize problemadan iyo drugskan iyo dhibaatada carruurteena ku dhacaysa marka sidee u aragtaa adigu waalidiinta Soomaaliyeed ee magaalada London iyo dalka Ingiriiska jooga inay ayagu gartaan oo aan garanno in ay waxaan haystaa annaga ay dhibaato weyn ugu hayaan oo aan laga xishoono la oran wiilka yarkaa midida wato ama xabsiga ka soo baxay waxaa la geeyey dalkii hooyo jaamacad buu ka dhigtaa maxaa la dhahaa waddan kale oo cirku maraya adigoo og inuu muqaadaraad ku jiro ama xabsi ku jiro ama wax dilay ama asaga dhibaato haysato
wallahi horka annaga annaga ahaan dhibka waxbaan ku leenahay sababtoo ah ciyaalkeena jeel ku jiro uma tagno markay soo baxaan uma sameyno another way out marka dhibka jira
Adam I'm talking about before they get to jail. I'm talking about to prevent that in the first place. What is the community's responsibility to make sure that at least we reduce the numbers of young people dying or joining gangs or carrying a knife?
In a sense.
Adam?
Yes.
Thank you. Maybe difficult to adjust. I ask Adam, as you guys have heard, that the community cannot just blame the police and the system. It has to go hand in hand where we work together to make sure that because someone knows who's carrying a knife, someone knows who's joining a gang, someone knows who's carrying, you may not know, but I may know someone in my neighborhood who's doing this. And the problem a lot of people have with this is they don't want to let the authority know. And then things go downhill from there on. And that is where the problem is. And a lot of Somali parents who are watching this may be thinking, okay, where can I go in my neighborhood to get help and support? Not necessarily through the police, but somebody else, another organization, whether it's a charity or whatever it may be. And that is what is missing from what Adam is saying.
Yeah, I totally agree. It's the commissioner, I think, some months ago said we're not going to enforce our way out of this problem. It's a societal issue, and we need to get to the root cause of it. So, what makes somebody want to go out and carry a knife? And I think I talked in the last show that we did around community intelligence, not police intelligence, but community intelligence. Everybody out there knows something, and we've got social media now. You know, Facebook, WhatsApp messaging. You know, and we see examples where youngsters perceived to be disrespected, maybe in the playground or in the street, and that's gone viral now. You know, when we were kids, when we were a lot younger, you know, if you were disrespected in a playground, probably 20, 30 people knew about it. Now it goes almost viral. It goes to thousands, and it's that almost becomes that disrespect issue becomes public, and then young people think they need to exact revenge, and that's a lot of that. We see that overlap with knife crime now through social media, but that's the negative side of social media. But everybody's got access to social media, so parent, sibling, brother, younger brother, school friend, somebody knows something, and that's where either a phone call into the police or another community member or somebody that you can trust to try and stop that before it escalates into violence or something more sinister.
Okay. Hello, line kala ku xiga.
السلام عليكم.
عليكم السلام walaal kor yar hadal fadlan.
السلام عليكم أبو.
عليكم السلام walaal ku maqlay magaca.
أبو شكري على لها.
Somali baa ku hadlaysa mise English?
أبو إنجليز ما قال سومالي كهذا.
dawlad baa tahay soo dhow.
أبو هرتا وكفر حسنا برنامجات كان يوحنا أودين. وأنا كحوم هاي الماء سومالي الدوات هذا قارتو. إن سؤال أنا كويدي أنا روح أبو. إن كندا إيو إنجليز كأنت بدأ دبعته كذا على هولندي إيو ودمر أسكت كما دعو سبب تكيني كرتو أقرب لها هنا أوجاده
ما هي هذه كلها شكر
أبو أنا وحيلتها هاي معناها ما دام ودن كان أوكيري هاي أو معناها كرامين كي وحس يكويرين دبعته إن عسين وكيمانا يا أمالينا
سداء أوكله
يا
سداء أوكله
معناها هولن عمل هذا ودن يرواي
marka waxa la population ka badan and so the crime rises.
Ani saasi ila tahay inay qadantaana waa dhici kartaa.
Okay, if you link ku jirdan I'll ask team Shukri is obviously speaking Somali. She said that this kind of crimes where knife and gun related crimes does not happen elsewhere in Europe as much. What do you guys think led to the increase of knife crime and gang in UK? And a similar question before, but she thinks because the population here is a lot more than, let's say, Netherlands. That's what it is. I don't know if you have something else.
Good evening. Proportionately, knife crime and populations will be linked because you'll have a certain amount of knife crime depending on your population. In Europe, they do have knife crime issues, and they have issues with murders as well, and we're very similar to certain European cities in that respect. I think the challenge is it starts in the home and then moves out onto the street. If you have a drugs trade, and we know there's drugs in London and we know there's drugs going out into county forces, then you're protecting something. So it's not, and Sean talked earlier about disrespect, but it's also about protecting drug markets. And what people tend to do is say, well, you know, my kids might be involved in something, but it's not violence. Well, it will start with drugs, and then you protect the drugs, and then the profits become big, and then other people get involved, and then the violence follows. So I think we're similar to other European cities. I think with the drugs market, it's really important to get in early, and if you see the signs of your children being involved in that, and that might be more money or nicer clothes, and you think, well, where did these come from? Because I didn't buy them. Then that's the time you need to say something. I think where you have drugs, violence follows. I think every city in Europe has challenges, and we're not alone. Population increase, proportionally knife crime will follow. But it's all about the reason for the violence, and that's what we should be looking at. And a lot of the times it's linked to the drugs market.
Great. Next caller, hello? Hello?
Hello, assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam, brother. So do magaca?
Walaal aadan baa la yiraahdaa Cabdi Xafiid baa ku salaamay.
Aadan xagee joogtaa?
London baan joogaa walaal.
Af Ingiriis ma ku hadlaysaa adoo mahadsan?
Maya.
Okay, go ahead. Af Somali ku hadal, brother.
Somali ma raayaan ku hadal.
Si fiican, soo dhow.
Walaal horta waa ku salaamay, in badan baan ku salaamay.
Waa ka qaad, brother.
Aad baan u soo dhaweynay horta barnaamijkan mar walba arrimaha bulshada aad ka hadasho waan aad baan ugu faraxsanahay.
Mahadsanid.
Waxa weeye walaalow anu laba qodob baan ayaan ka dheelahaa arrintan.
Okay, tan koowaad waa maxay?
Midda koowaad horta waxa weeye walaalow waan ognahay annaga Soomaali horta haddaan nahay waxaanu leenahay dhaqan baanu leenahay. Waxaan anigu aan dambiga saari lahaa oo mataqaanaa awlaadda marka horeba mataqaanaa nolosha ka rida inay kareem galaan ama ay dil galaan ama drug dealer iyo waxaas ay galaan. Waxaa horta u fududeeyo horta waxa weeye systemka ka jira waddankan weeye. sababta waxa weeye waalidiinta hadii awlaadooda loo madax banayni lahaa oo koristooda iyo tarbiyoontooda iyo ka warqabkooda marka horeba systemka waddankan ka jiro uu madax banayni lahaa oo loo deeni lahaa iyaga looga dambeyn lahaa waxaan aaminsanahay canugu inuu san horta ku dhaceen marka ugu horeyso horta creamka iyo dibka uu galay iyo drug dealer ku galay
aadam halkaas aan ka dhex galo
ay walaal
marka koowaad waxaan rabaa inaan adiga iyo daawadayaasha xasuusiyo nimankan waa askar they're not lawmakers they're law enforcement waa police weeyaan systemka waddanku uu shaqeeyo sharciga ay ugu madajiyaan waxaan rabaa inaad su-aal ka weydiisay ama ra'yigaaga ka dhiibatid sidee uga hortagnaa ubadkeena baaba'aya nimankaanse mas-uuliyadda saaran waa maxay laakiin haddaad tidhaahdo sharciga waddanka ogolaanaya ilmaha inaan waalidku dili karinin ay waxba kama qaban karaan haddaad jawaab ku xirayaanba marka taas bedel si kale iyo weji kale u dhig fursad kale aan ku siinaa waalka mageen
ما لكن وان كفهم عبد حافظ لكن waxa weey horta marka hore in la isla garto horta ma taqaana canugu horta dhibaatada horta waxaan uu ku galay in la isla gartaa horta ma taqaana ay horta muhiim ah hadaan taa horta la isla garanay waxa weey canugu horta kama bixi karaa dibkii marka ugu horeysaba inuu galo horta aad bay ugu fududaanaysaa
okay why it doesn't happen let's say the Chinese community maxay sameeyeen noqon waayeen haduu systemku problem ku yahay
ya
hadii mushkiladu ay systemka tahay maxay ku dhacday ilmaha Chinese-ka isdileen TV-yada laga arkino boqol hadda Soomaalida sanadkan la dilay waa 9 ama iyagu isdilayba ama la dilay gacan ka gardaran dishay sanadkii hore waa sidoo kale maxay ku dhacday systemku inuusan dadka kale saasoo kale u saameynayo annagana saameynayo
hadda taas horta waxa weeye iyada ruuxi horta waa su'aal meesha ku in la isweydiiyo u baahan weeye waxa weeye macnaha dadkii Soomaalidii macnaha dad wadankan maartay horta la qabsaday oo ma taqaana muddo horta sii joogay oo ama dhaqan ahaan ama dabeecad ahaan ama bulsho ahaan horta ku dhex jira ma ahan oo ma dhex ku taqaana taas horta way sahli kartaa
okay second point-iga waa maxay markaas
ya walaal
second point-iga su'aashaada kale waa maxay
su'aasheeda kale waxa weeye canuga markii uu creamka inta galo ama ma taqaana dambiyada uu galo oo canugii xabsi uu galo xabsigii markuu canugii ma taqaana uu ka soo baxo wuxuu galahayaa bad credit buu galahayaa oo ma taqaana ma samayn karo noloshiisi markaan wax soo kabahayo oo example shaqo ma raadsani karo noloshiisi ma dhisani karo haddii ilaahay ku roon yahay waalidkii shalayta gacantiisa uu ka baxay ma xadidi karo oo ma ilaalin karo oo gacantiisa kuma soo noqon karo waxna kama dhageysan karo marka qasabba waxay ku noqonaysaa meeshii shalayta uu ka bilaabay inuu haddana dib ugu laabto marka taa waxaan orani lahaa canuga markii uu xabsiga ku soo baxay xabsiga horta sida waxa weeye tarbiyad baa laga qaatay oo qofku markii qofku dambi uu inta gala xabsi la geeyo in tarbiyad la siiyo oo mataqaana wixii shalayta lagu soo xiray dambi lagu soo xiray uu ka baxo sida uga baxo oo noloshiisa dib uu mataqaana ugu soo ceshto ayaa horta in lagu baraa ku wanaagsan canuga marka
هذا وقت بدل ما كسي هالكاس كوجو جنا ولكن رالله وما سنت آذن لبضان إنه سؤال شو ويدينيا لكن وحى أيان درا كمان كنا Somali داون سو UK جوكته إن هالقف أوسن إيه كرين ورأننا وإحنا خلدين يهين نمان كانوا حباك خلدان سيدا أو هرتنا أنا وخلد كانوا صحنا محيا لو إحنا نقولنا هاي طريقة هدا مريسيد وقالن دم بيجرين بوليس وما كقبصنا وحنا بالو قبصنا فكرك أما كارك race كارك or you guys are white, we're black, we're Muslim, we're this, we're that. It's not going to work. And marka ina wada shaqeyno daruuri ma santahay. Adam says what lets down the parent and young people, making them vulnerable, is the system. I said to him, you guys are law enforcement and you don't make the law. Therefore, he's saying, his second point was, he said, even when they serve sentence, when they come out from prison, they come out worse than before. So they're not being properly rehabilitated. So what are you guys doing around that? Sure.
Around rehabilitation. So, okay, so taking it right back to the beginning, this isn't about criminalising our youth, and we said this before, this isn't about putting people in prison, putting young people in prison. That's the very last thing we want to be doing, trust me. This is about stopping people going to prison and putting those interventions in before. With the SEPTA work that we're doing at the moment, we are working with the Ministry of Justice and we're having conversations around knife crime, and perhaps I haven't got the statistics with me today, but there are a lot less young people going through juvenile custody now than there were before, but we're still getting knife crime, we're still getting homicides and murders. So, you know, I don't think that personally prison's a panacea and it's going to solve the issues. And I've never ever advocated that I want to put young people behind bars. However, people have got to realise if they carry a knife, they run the risk of being put behind bars. And it's not an ideal solution. So, as I say, we are working with the Ministry of Justice. What we're trying to do is trying to get people to stop carrying knives in the first place, because if you carry a knife and it's on you in the wrong circumstances, you get that toxic mix of taking that knife out and then you're then possibly likely to use it, or somebody else will on you. And that's what the statistics prove. So.
Okay, good. I'll put that to him, but let's take another call. Hello?
السلام عليكم.
عليكم السلام ورحمة الله. soo dhawow magaca xageesa joogta af ingiriisi ma Soomaali
walaal Soomaali baan ku hadlayaa adaa ingiriiska u jooga
soo dhawow xagee joogta
London
magacaana xasna soo dhawow ku maqlaa walaal hore u wado xasna soo dhawow
walaal waa idin salaam yaa waan idin beer celinayaa adiga ee mas'uulka kula joogtaba
thank you
inta kadib waxaan oran lahaa waxaan haysanaa haddaan waalidiinta nahay cuqdad markay sheekadu dhowdahay ilmihii hadda calaamadaha uu nimanka kula fadhiya ay sheegayeen lagu arko in markiiba waalidka booliska la xiriiro ilmuhu xasaan arkay soo gaadha waxaa jira wax la qabta kadibna ay dhacdo in booliskii uu sheeko dheer iyo meel kale in wax ka bilaabo iyo sheekada inay dheereeyaan oo markiiba saad rabtay wax lagu qaban ay dhacdo taasna aan oran karno deesaan rabnay waxna laguma qabanayo ama wixiiba markii gacanta laguma qabanayo waa loo seetan dheereynaya dhibaataduna halkaas ay ka timaada marka ay nagu dhacdo cuqdad maxad booliska wax ku qaban maayo aad ka raadis.
Okay, Hasna, that's a very good question. Stay on the line, please. Hasna, as well as the other previous callers, they're all grateful that you guys are here. I forgot to mention that. She says, thank you very much for coming again. She said that the problem we Somali community sometimes have is you guys are not doing enough when they come forward and say, okay, for example, and as she put it, she comes to the police, said, I am worried for my son, this is happening. The police will come around, take a few details and go away. By the time the second time you guys are called, it's either too late or the person has done way too much crime. So you're not doing enough to stop and investigate properly for the first time?
Thank you for the call. I think it is challenging for us, Hasna, and we are there from before someone commits a crime, hopefully never committing a crime, through committing a crime, and then through the rehabilitation and the criminal justice system. And it's challenging for any police organisation. And yes, if you call us, we should help. We are not always there to help because we are doing lots of different things. I think what's important though, that if you do ask for it, that we can come round and talk to you. We may not be the right people to take that forward, and it might be that it's someone else in the community or other agencies that can support you. But without a doubt, if you're calling the police and the police come round, you should expect help. So hopefully you'll stay on the line and give your details, and we will follow that up if there was anything specific. Okay. And what you said there is really important. So we want to get to or through to the person, whether it's a young man or an older man, before something happens. And that's what prevention is about. To me, we talk a lot about knife murders and serious incidents, and it's too late. So we need to be at that point that you've just discussed.
Okay, Hasna, wuxuu ku yiri team su-aashaadu waa su-aal wanaagsan, waana kaaga mahad celinayna. Waxaan rabnaa in aanu markay booliisku u yeertay waxaa laga yaabaa inaan same time ku imaanin oo weekend oo kale tahay busy aan nahay, qof community-ga ama booliiska socdaa imaanaya. Markaad call soo wacdinna you should expect in booliisku ay ku caawiyaan there and then. Waana kaaga mahad celinaynaa sida wanaagsan oo u hadashay buu ku leeyahay. Waxaana rabnaa inaysan ciyaalku marka horeba dambi gelinin, ayagana way u fududahay, kuwana yarna way ku badbaadayaan. Hasna, are you still on the line? Okay, they already put her on the call center. And if you guys don't want to share your stories with us here live, you can call and my colleagues will put you into the call center, and those officers will take it from there, and it will be discreet. Haddaad doonaysa inaad booliiska si gaar aad ula hadashid oo aad u dhibaato ku gaara arabtina u sheegtid, please call, waxaad tiraahdaa call centerka ii gudbiya, and there's another officers there who will help you. Line kaloo ku xiga. Hello.
السلام عليكم.
السلام ورحمة الله. شو ولا المقعة؟
ولا المقعة وحوية سهام اللي رحلة.
سهام.
ها.
سهام سولو حاجة جوكتها.
ولا الواحد شوقة شفيل.
شفيل أوكي سولو.
ها أتبغى ما تصدق ولا السؤال كلي أنا أريد ويديني يا.
Go ahead.
وحوية أريد أن تقولي واحد شراك اللي يرفض بدر ورباطه يريد تقولي صباحي.
أنا أمية.
ها إنك الصومالية. waliba beelo badan oo ku noolaa Birmingham, London, everywhere waa la mid weeyaan. Su-aasha aniga arrimahan arkay aad iga yaabsan ragga jecel inay weydiiyo waxa weeyaan, waxaad arkaysaa ilmo yaroo year 7 ama year 8 isagoo aan dhibaato galay, waa la qabtay, waa la xidhay, xabsigaa la geliyey, sanad buu xidhnaa, dad kale oo dhibaato galay buu la xidhmay, experience buu ka soo qaatay xabsigii, waa la soo daayay, xaafadii uu joogay baa lagu soo celiyey, wax loo sameeyey ma jiro, waa la xidhay, waa la soo celiyey. Ilmaha ayaa eeg تعليم بلها qualification بلها وحلا وحو ستان بلها. The only thing CV كويا لو حوية criminal record.
على كل سهام.
ها.
أنا كان أحقله يرسمن كوا لبي تمنجر كوي تمنجر سومار.
وات ده تمنجر أفريد تمنجر حبس بو قال يصير ذا يسوق أفريد تمنجر مش أفريد تمنجر صباحا ما يلقى
واقرتي لكن إن لبي تمنجر صدق تمنجر الحرو ذلك إنجليزك أدبي وأدكتها إنك السوء يجري ما يلعب روتي الروها يو. وين دم بوين قال يمركا.
وحويا like drugs يحيى البدا.
Right.
والله قفتي والله حلو وارد على وارد جرا قار شريت وجر لحية وجر إيه تشكا ودحية. أنا قلت أشيء وحويا قف كسر باقلا قلي والله حلي أو وحلا وح qualification أنا وجر هل كي لقى قفتي باللي بسوي عندي بحال لقى تغير المخير بروتسو إنه حبسي يقول كنا قدم معها إلا يكون كنا نقول كرو شقب بتجي كرو واحد مدة training إيه rehabilitation إيه follow up إن المها لقص بيننا كوري جي لقى قاعدين اللي بسوي عليه every area Somali دكتي هتاد أركتنا واتكو أركيسا ما هو حنسك هاد لايو المنطقة دي يلا بالله صحري عن qualification هيسان عن experience هيسان life كبير وكبر أبا عن قرانين وهذا مشكلتنا كان قال اللي بسوي عليه دي مشكلة دي drugs كيكون recruit كرينا يستجى شريط recruit كري إلا هو food soldier this guy وأنا شقالة أو هلا شقيسية ديكي كشقيسية لما قبل سند والبا مدبو كشقالة سينية أولا قبنية أولا حرية أولا سوديني وهالكي اللي بسوي عليا
سهام واقف فهمي su-aashaada waa weydiinaya iyadoo weji kalena waa weydiinaya because waxba iga baxay waa mahadsantahay thank you. Sam is calling from Sheffield. She says that often what happens in her area is young Somalis were picked up by the police, age 10, 12, 13, locked up for years. By the time they come back, they don't have no qualifications, they have a criminal record, they haven't benefited from jail, and they come back to exactly the same neighborhood they were picked up yesterday or a couple of years ago, and they will go back to the same crime again. What are you guys doing around there?
It's an age-old problem, isn't it? I mean, it's about, again, what I said earlier about we don't want to criminalise our youth. So I don't know about that individual case, but a 10, 12, 13-year-old going to prison, I think, is a societal loss. Yeah. It's a loss for us all. And I think it's very sad in those circumstances when that happens. And I said from the outset, I don't know that individual case, but you know, we don't want to be in that position. And I accept fully that when they come out, when youngsters come out of prison, yeah, they do come out probably more criminalised. The Ministry of Justice, the Prison Service are working very hard with the Young Offenders Institutes to try and stop that happening in prison. But the reality is, in the majority of cases, youngsters will come out probably more criminalised than when they went in. So the messaging that we're getting out and what we've been saying from the very outset, and from the Commissioner through MOPAC, through government, is that we don't want to put our youngsters in prison. We want to stop that and negate that from the outset. And
okay, that's very important. Let me put that. Siham, adigii dadka loo daawanayay waxa uu yidhi Ministry of Justice waa wasaaradda cadaaladda weeyaan baan la shaqaynaynaa sidii looga shaqayn lahaa in da'yarta noocaas oo kale aan xabsiyada aysan gelin meel kale markaa loo leexiyo dhaqan celis loo sameeyo si aysan waxaas u gelinin laakiin muhiimadeena anagu waxay tahay xaaladdu marka hore inaysan halkaas soo gaarinin oo laga hortago. su-aashaan jecelahay waalidiinta Soomaaliyeed waxay tahay maxaa kalifaya wiil yar oo dhasho 12 sano jira ama 10 sano jira hidaayadana Ilaahay baa hayaan ogahay waalidiintu inay dadaalayaan malihi wal xuntihiin inuu midi qaato ama darooga iibiyo. idinkaan jecelahay su-aashaas inaad idin weydiiyo waalidiinta Soomaaliyeed khadka telefoonada haddii dib ugu noqono. Hello. soo dhaw walaal.
Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum assalam. Welcome to the show. magaca
magacaygu waa Umar.
عمر ما يسهل كرتاي وما في إنجليزين كرتام سو Somali.
No, I prefer Somali.
Go ahead.
New problem kan research badan laga sameeyay. Yaa ugu weyn waxa ku hayo waa school education.
Okay. Umar, line ka clear ma ha, please call back and we can see if we can get a better call. A better line for you. عمر فضلا كسو على هذا الرالي وكو مقلي واي لين كلو كحيق. هلو
السلام عليكم.
اهلا وسهلا والله. سولو مقعاه
مقعيقو حل سعدي محمد.
سولو محاجة عشان ويديسيد
waxaan rabay booliiska inaan weydiiyo kowga hore ilmaha criminal waxay u noqdaan horta kowga hore horta talo waalidiinta Soomaalida waxaa dhihi lahaa ilmihiina
codkaagu aad u hooseeya walaal kuma maqlo.
mii maqlaysid hadda
wax yar dibnaha u yara dhawee.
hadda ii maqlaysaa?
ha go ahead.
Okay. waa ku salaam horta walaal. barnaamijkaana aada ugu faraxsanahay yani ilmaha Soomaalida aad u dhamaadeen xiritaan iyo ku wax la toogtabo.
Thank you. Credit to this gentleman here. waa mahadsantahay. soo dhawo wado.
Okay. kowga hore ilmaha waxa loo xiraa communication ma leh ayaga iyo waalidiinta. ya primary markay yihiin sida xooliya guriga lagu soo xareynayaa, high school markay noqdaan ilmihi saafaraha baxsanayo. marka Soomaali haddaan nahay sidee ilmiheen u badbaadinaa oo xiritaanka iyo problemkan aan ugu baxsanaa booliiska oo nagu caawin karaan?
Okay, that's a very good question. waxaan rabaa inaad si kale u dhigtid. maxaad jeclaan lahayd team iyo Sean inay qabtaan oo aad rabtaa inay iyagu aad isleedahay ma qabanin ama inay qabtaan bay ku habboon tahay? Then I can put to them straight.
inay yani ilmaha ay inay yani markii cunuga la soo xiro in ay ogaadaan inay exactly cunugan waxaan inuu haleekaankan inuu galay. ya in la ogaado iyo sababtii lagu dilay because ilmo badan xataa macna la'aan lagu dilaa oo in la dilo oo same time la dhahaa yani walaalkiis ama saaxiibkiisa ah wixii aad dilay
okay waa mahadsanta
yani isiga xataa markan uuna qaladka uuna lahayn
waa garta thank you in short how can the parent and the police officers work together? What are you guys that are approachable? That's what she's asking.
Well, I'd like to think we're approachable. I think the most important thing is communication. So it's talking to each other, it's building up that trust, because nothing starts, you don't meet a stranger and get on with them straight away. So it's getting that trust together, because both sides are needed. So it is community and it's police working together. And we've seen examples of when it doesn't work together. And I think we'd all agree that what's best for our children growing up in society is that the two coexist and they get on with each other. I think the challenge is that every time an incident occurs, whether it's a serious injury to someone from the community or whether the police don't do their job, immediately the barriers go up again. And you want to get to a position where you have that trust, and therefore when these incidents happen, it doesn't affect the relationship. And I think we'd all say we're not there yet, but I think what Sean and I are trying to do, and other police officers around London, is to engage with communities, but come to the communities rather than expecting the communities to come to us. And this is what we're doing, following this and going to certain boroughs with the opportunity to speak face to face rather than just on camera. So the whole thing is, it's not a quick process. I think both sides have to work at it all the time, and we have to, every time something happens, we have to look at the bigger picture rather than reacting and saying the police or the community or whoever are at fault. Because it's not about blame this, it's about moving forward and working.
Thank you. Okay, next caller. Hello? Hello?
Yeah, hello?
Yeah, magacawlal, go ahead.
Magacayga waa Sucaad.
Okay, Suad, I heard that you speak English.
Yes, I do speak English.
You made my life easy. Go ahead.
Do you want me to speak?
Yes, please. Go ahead.
Okay, so basically, we were watching the TV.
Right.
We've come across a bit that said how Somali youth come out of prison, they don't have mentors, they don't have anywhere to go, basically. Right? So our point is, it shouldn't be the government or the system providing anything to them. It should be their family, so it should be family first. They should have a shelter at home. They should have a safeguarding at home where they go back to, you know, and feel welcome and feel like their parents are there for them. For example, their fathers are role models, are examples for them.
Right.
Right? So our point is, where are the fathers? Where the mothers, the Somali mothers, are doing everything. So they're collecting their kids from school, they're cooking for them, they're providing for them, they're looking after them, they're giving them a shelter, they're giving them a home, they're giving them clothing, right? And the fathers are sleeping, or they're either in the streets drinking shah. So our point is, where are the fathers? So why are we sitting on TV blaming the system when the system hasn't done anything to us? Everything starts from back home. So turning around saying, oh, you know, white people have this and black people have this, and we're supposed to have this at home, but we don't have this at home.
So you what you're saying is that, you know, is the family, is the home that need to provide shelter and care for this youth when they come out.
Yes. I'm saying your family is supposed to be there. Yes, you've made a mistake. Yes, you've done a crime. But your family are meant to be the first people there for you, are your point of contact. So when everything has gone wrong and you feel like the world is against you, you're meant to go back home and have a shelter. Especially your father as a male figure, because mainly it's men that go to prison, yes? So having your father there for you, having your father as a role model, having someone to look up to, you know, oh, my father went and did that, so I'm going to go and do that. Or my father went and started a business, so I'm going to go and start a business. Not my father's a bum who stays at home sleeping all day, therefore I'm going to stay at home, sleep all day and, you know, go on the streets and cause a crime. My point is, the system hasn't done anything to us. It's ourselves, and it starts from home.
So I thank you very much for your call. Our team and Sean are both still here. What do you make of that? Bright young lady.
Yeah, no, it's I agree totally. Actually, we see a lot of youngsters come from broken homes, and we hear that it's for a lack of having a parent or father figure in many cases. present, and then who becomes that father figure? Is it the gang that you then join, or is it a group of people that you then join, or is it the people you just hang around with outside a shop because you haven't got a home that you're welcome back into? So we don't hear that just from the Somali community, we hear that from all walks, all backgrounds, so totally agree. It's a very, very good point, and it comes back to the root cause, the societal issue that we talked about earlier, and how we have to really wind this back to its actual ground roots and try and make that difference from the home.
Can I just add one piece there? That what really interested me was when you said about protection and shelter and those words, and you're exactly right. You know, we all make mistakes. People come out of prison, and they might have changed. And an earlier caller mentioned that, you know, they will go back to the same street, but if they have that home and that protection and that love and that role model, then they have got somewhere. They've got a sanctuary.
Okay, thank you. waxa uu leeyihiin labadoodaba Jimmy Sean haddii ilmahaaga adigu aadan u noqon mid uu ku daydo aabaha loo jeedaa say su'aal hadalka u dhigtay qof kale ayaa u noqonaya kuwaas ayna raacayaan marka intaysa halka gaarinin adaa dhalay dadaal waxaan rabaa inaan hoosta ka xariiqo aabayaasha Soomaaliyeed intooda badan waa dad wanaagsan carruurtooda dhaqada qof iyo labana kulligood looma wada qaban karo qof iyo laba markaas cid walba waa laga heli karaa markaas laakiin su'aashan jecelahay inaan ku weydiiyo waxay tahay dad aabba Soomaaliyeed tahay adigu aabba Soomaaliyeed dad tahay maxaa kala fiiyay wiilkaaga yar inuu midi qaato xabsi uu galo kuwa kalena ay u gali waayeen haddii kuwa dariskaaga ay galayaan oo dambiyadaas ay la imaanayaan haddii guriga kugu dhagan uu gubanayo hurdo inaad seexatid maahan waa inaan wada toosnaa oonu ka hortagnaa aan la iscaabaynin oo farta la isku fiiqinin ilmaha yaro khalad buu sameeyaa la soo celiyo waxaan hadda ka hor la kulmay waalid Soomaaliyeed oo wiilkooda markuu xabsiga ka soo baxay cayriyay sababtuna waxay tahay reer waxay ayaan barakeysan oo wiilal badan Ilaahay siiyay taasina waxay kaliftay inay u arkeen kaayar inuu kuwa kala saameyn ku yeelanayo waa la cayrshay 10 days kadibna dariiqa laga qabtay xabsiga lagu celiyay su'aad waxay ka hadlaysaa meesha ka dhacay waa hagaag next call hello soo dhawaal magaca
assalamu alaykum abti and good evening all the groups are on the screen abti waad maadsantahay
go ahead
caaw dhan waxaan doonayay if there were fathers to contact this program, most of the contactors were females.
Right.
Are you with me?
We're with you 100%. Are you a father yourself?
Yes, I'm a father of kids.
Inshallah, congratulations. Go ahead. Team
Wow, what I wanted to say is, mostly, first of all, our Somali teenagers are mostly targeted in this country or in the UK. I don't know. I wonder why.
Targeted by who?
By the as a prisoners, as a criminals, and I wonder why. But on my reading is or on my understanding is that is coming from the school itself where they are studying. When the teachers are interfering between the child and his parents, if my child fall down in the house, or at least if I shout at my son to stop him from making wrong or mistake, next morning, the school is calling the father, the mother or the father, saying, oh, the social worker is interrupting you. You are not a good parent. You shout at your son. You didn't. And when fathers are neither or parents are keep telling, I wanted to correct my son. First of all, we are from a little bit different culture. Although we are all in the UK and the law are equal for all or everybody who are in the UK. But in certain ways, we have also different culture. And if I do not stop my son not to do bad things or bad doings, the school is interfering, the social work is interfering, the police are doesn't care.
Okay. Let me just go back to what you said earlier, because these are law enforcement and social worker school hadaan wax crime uusan dhicinin. Therefore, I want to go back to what you said earlier. Our children are being groomed by criminals and they've been targeted. Can you talk a bit about that so Sean and Tim can answer if you have a question?
The time when the kids are not listening to their parents, that's the time they are going to make drug dealers getting out of the house, and they doesn't listen to the parents because they have a good encouragement from social workers or from outsiders. That is the time the kid is doing lot of bad things, and that is the police interfering, and that's how my child is going to the prison after at his 12s, at his 14s, at his 15s. without any also rehabilitation while he's in the prison. And as you said previously, just or that lady says, they are putting him in the prison and bring him back to the same area where they took him. The police or a certain department is not giving giving rehabilitating the child.
waa ku fahmay. Thank you very much. Waqti badan baan ku siiyey. Waa ku mahadsan tahay. Guys, what do you make of that? Tim, go ahead.
I think thank you for the call, and it raises a lot of interesting points. A lot of the times people join gangs or start dealing drugs or hang around with people that you wouldn't want them to hang around with because of a breakdown in a family relationship sometimes. So it's very hard, and you know, as I said, I've got teenage boys, and I know Sean's got children, that the relationship, I shout sometimes, but also sometimes it's a case of listening as well. And I'm not a social worker, and I can't advise you on exactly how to act, but what the kids do is when they move into these gangs, it's because they feel a sense of belonging and getting something they're not necessarily getting. So it's listening, it's understanding the child, and doing whatever you can to keep them in that safe environment, which isn't always easy, especially with teenage boys. With regard to children going to prison, etc., that should be the last resort, as Sean said. We don't want to put people in prison. Prisons are too full, they're not good places, and they're certainly not good places for young people. But at the same time, we have to protect other parts of society with that. And that's what I was saying, Sean.
We've gone 5 minutes over time, but I want to end with you, Sean, regarding the murder investigation in Islington.
Okay, so you'll be aware of a tragic death yesterday. A 40-year-old male died in Islington. I can't go into the facts of that case at the moment, but again, you know, we're reaching out to the Somali community. I think now's, you know, hope that you've seen enough now from Tim and I. You know, the messaging that we're going to get out is that you can come forward to police. You can trust us to take your information, whether you want to talk on air personally or whether you want to go to our staff that are ready to take calls now. We are appealing for any witnesses or anybody that's got any information, no matter how trivial that you think it might be. Can you please come forward and in confidence give us that information and let us solve this tragic incident?
waxau yidhi ugu dambeyntii waxaan jeclahay inaan soomaalida aan joogto ee ingiriiska gaar ahaan london aan ka codsano ninka soomaaliyeed ee shalay lagu dilay degmada Islington ee 40 yearska jira ama 40 sano jira inaan ogaano ciddii dishay informationka haysid, however is little. Please come forward. haddii aad rabtiin iyaga la hadashid, haddii aad rabtiin aad team kale qol kale ku jira la hadashid, call centerka call, haddii kalena crime stopperska wac la hadla, adoon magacaaga sheegin baad u sheegi kartaa. waxaa ogtahay nin Soomaaliyeed oo la dilay weeye, ciddii dishay lama oga, reerkiisa iyo asaga iyo inta kale oo xaqa ay kulaba ahli qaraabadiisa waxay xaq u leeyihiin inay ogaadaan ciddii dishay si dembigooda maaragtay markaas loogu abaalmariyo ay galeen. waxaan rabaa inaan u mahadceliyo Team Sean, thank you very much for coming once again.
Thank you.
I just been told there's a lot of callers, but we ran out of time. We would love to have you back. It was the request of the community for you to come back once again. We look forward to you in the near future. Also, I would like to thank G, who was the backbone to organize all this. Thank you very much. And the police officers in the call center, thank you. Laura, who was also a part of the team, thank you. Also, I want to apologize for the Ealing police station. I was with you yesterday evening. We couldn't show you beautiful videos we recorded yesterday due to a limited time we have tonight, but I promise you I will come to Ealing once again and we will give you a full program that is dedicated to Ealing Borough only. Until next time, waxaan jeclahay mahadceliyo Cabdixakiin Fiqi oo asagoo barnaamijka xiriiriye ka ahaa, Axmed Daahir Afaar macalinka weyn waa u mahadcelinaya asagana. waxaa barnaamijkan idiin soo saaray isugu kinduburiday farsamada quruxda badan iyo wax walbana soo hagaajiyay waa Cabdalla Mudhir. aniga waa Cabdixafiin Maxamuud Jaamac idinla socodsiinayay. intaanu kanoo kale dib ugu kulmi doono. Stay safe. Assalamu alaikum. Goodbye.